Hi, we're here with Phil Vinet, the Mayor of Red Lake, Ontario. Phil and his team at Red Lake were very kind and agreed to host our delegation from Colombia and Peru, and they had an amazing agenda for us, and so we'd like to hear a little bit about the experience from the mayor's point of view of how it was receiving our guests in your community. So Phil.
Well, thank you. First of all, it was quite an honor for not only myself but our council, our staff, and the community of Red Lake to host such distinguished visitors from Peru and Colombia. We're always happy and proud to give everyone a taste of Red Lake, and to see the smiles on the faces of all of our visitors over 4 days was the most rewarding experience we probably had as municipal government for quite some time. And
can you give us an overview? What sort of things did you want to show? What is Red Lake doing? What was the key messages and places where you brought them?
Good question. There was a couple of things we wanted to do. Number one, we wanted to show the natural beauty and the sincerity of Red Lakers, and I think we did that. We're lucky to be located in such a wonderful part of Canada where we get to enjoy the natural beauty and the environment to its fullest. The other issue we wanted to discuss was the method in which we operate as a municipality and how we're geared towards the sustainability issues of keeping a community afloat, if you will. And those principles we've laid down, and we just wanted to share them with our visitors, and I think we did that too. So we accomplished.
Can you give us a little flavor and talk a little bit about the sustainability plan that you have there and your relationship with Goldcorp that they saw?
It's about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we adopted a sustainability plan. And it was based around 4 pillars, one being economic development, social development, environmental development, and one of our most important pillars was to maintain our cultural development. So we have 4 tenets, if you will, of our sustainability plan, so that whenever we make a decision affecting the community, we filter them through the sustainability plan to make sure we mitigate the results, and it provides probably a net benefit for the most people for the longest period of time. If there's a message in that, it's to look at the future. When we make decisions, we should actually not make a decision until it kicks in at the end of our term, so that we have something to move forward to. It's like what you're doing is involving the next generation and the kids into your process, so that you're setting the stage where they get to enjoy the benefits as opposed to these short-term gains and long-term pains. We've got it backwards. So we've got to have long-term gain. Sometimes it means short-term pain. We just turn the game around. And at the end of the day, we can do greater planning for greater people for the future. In our case, we have to work closely with Goldcorp. They employ over 1,000 people in Red Lake. Of course, they're going to have a direct impact. So one of the game plans we had early on was to try and match up our community plan with the Goldcorp strategic plan. And so we found some common denominators and worked jointly on those efforts. And one of the most immediate results was the building of our new medical clinic that we expect to last for several generations. And it was a result of the municipality of Red Lake and Goldcorp finding a common denominator. And that's just a good example of it. And there are others.
And, you know, Red Lake is now a partner on the program of CISAL, and
a proud partner.
Proud partner. And, you know, so the idea will be that Red Lake will continue to work with our guests over the next couple of years. What did you find when you were speaking to them were some commonalities that you share between Red Lake and a community in, for example, Antioquia?
We're no different. We're separated from distance, but we're not separated on issues. We found that our visitors had social issues. Well, Red Lake has social issues. Environmental issues. We have environmental issues. So despite geography, the issues are the same. So I think it's incumbent upon us now to find the best way through the Peruvian people, the Colombian people, and the Canadian people to address these issues. And no one community or country is going to have a monopoly on all the answers, because no one has the best way of doing everything. So we've got to pull the best out of everybody. We can learn a lot from our visitors, and I hope that our visitors can learn a lot from us. And so at the end of the day, when the sun sets on a certain issue, it's a real collaborative effort for the best result.
And as a final concluding thought, and on that point of learning and mutual learning, what do you think is one of the maybe most valuable things that you've learned from the people that you've met on this program so far?
It's really refreshing to see the desire to get better. Everybody has a common goal. We may not be able to communicate easily. We need interpretations, but you know what? At the end of the day, we have so much in common, and it's to do the right thing for our people, and it's how we get there. That's the different path. I guess in summation, I can learn a lot more by listening than I can by talking. So it was great to hear the voices of all our friends, and the questions were such high-level questions that required some deep thinking to get the right answer to. So, and the questions went both ways. You had the mayors and the representatives were so involved in the 4 days in Red Lake. I think it took us to task to make sure that we got the right answers for them. So, anyway, all in all, we'd be certainly glad to host anyone from CSL at any time. Come on back to Red Lake. We enjoyed your company.
And I'm sure we'd be happy to come back, because what we felt there was definitely a lot of hospitality and warmth and a lot of community effort there.